Hello everybody, let's start our math. I hope everything is gonna be fine. I hope you can see the video and open the file that I sent you, that you can print or you can read on your phone or computer. It's up to you, but I'm gonna follow these and then I'm gonna explain everything I think you need explanation for. I will maybe say things that are obvious for some of you, but I don't know exactly what you're gonna need because I don't see you. So I hope I'm gonna cover everything. If that's too obvious and too easy, you can skip. If you need to go in detail and I didn't say something, you can ask me. I can re-explain or send you a message to clarify the point. Alright, so first one, Unit 11, functions. No surprise, I told you. So we start with number one, the definition of a function. So I know all of you know what is a function, but I wanted to make sure that we talk about the same thing and that you have all the detail in exactly what is a function for math. So a function is a calculation that transforms one number into another. So it can transform a 2 into a 4, an 8 into a 16. Doesn't matter, it will transform it. That will be the function, and it will always follow the same pattern. So let's try an example 1. You choose a number x. To that number x, you will multiply it by 2. Then you add to this result a 3. Therefore, you create a function that gives to any x number that you chose at the beginning a new value. So here, if you choose 1, so 1 times 2, 2, plus the 3, it's 5. If you choose x equals 2, 2 times 2, 4, plus 3, 7. And if you choose 3, 3 times 2, 6, plus 3, 9. So that will transform your 3 into a 9. So anything is possible. You can apply any rule that you want as long as the rule stays the same. So to one value, to one variable, one number chosen, it will give a different value applying the same rule. This rule is the function. So here you will create pairs of data. For instance, for this specific example, the x is 1, the result y will be 5, the x is 2, the result would be 7, the x was 3, the result would be 9, etc., etc. A point exists for any value that would be chosen for x, and it will transform it into the y value. Alright, so that creates coordinates. The equation for this function that we created in example 1 is y equals 2x plus 3. 2 times the value chosen plus 3. You can write that same function as f of x equal 2x plus 3. Y is the result, f of x is the function applied to x to change it. It means exactly the same thing. You will find sometimes they use f of x, sometimes they use y. Alright, same thing again. Example 2. You choose a number x. So any number, that's the variable. This time you time it by itself. So you square that value. Then you time the result by 4. And then you subtract 16 to the result. You created a new function. This function can be written as y equals 4x squared minus 16. Or f of x equals 4x squared minus 16. It's exactly what you described step by step. And you can probably understand here that the function for example 1 does not give the same result, the same pattern, than the function for example 2. So, depending on which calculation you apply on the x value, you will create a certain type of function and then a specific graph corresponding to this function. It can create a straight line, it can create a parabola, an hyperbola, an exponential graph or a trigonometric graph. Alright, so I hope this is clear now. A function is a calculation that changes an x value into a new y value. This function is the same and it creates a variation, a pattern from your x to your y. And all functions can be drawn with graphs. So to do that, you will use a set of axes with the x and y. You know, all of you, that x is the horizontal axis and y is the vertical axis. Negative down left and positive right up. Okay, so you have that little one here that just reminds you that one point has two coordinates, the x value on the horizontal axis and the y value on the vertical axis, and the point where the two meet, it's the point that corresponds to this specific function. Transform your x into the y value. Alright, so for the page 2, to create your graph, to plot it, to make it appear in front of your eyes, the only way and the simplest way is to choose different x's value, calculate the different y's corresponding to those x's, and then once you've got a few coordinates, you plot it in your graph, in your set of axes, and you start seeing the pattern formed by the points. When this pattern is obvious, then you can start drawing your graph. Alright, so let's practice with the example 1. We're going to use the same function that we described previously, the y equals 2x plus 3. So you should all know, and I hope you remember, that this is going to be a straight line because it's a multiplication of x with a constant plus or minus another constant. So here we have y equals 2x plus 3, which is the form of mx plus c. Then m is 2 and c is 3. M is the gradient, c is the y-intercept. Alright, so that's very easy, but the method to draw a straight line is the same than to draw any graph. So you do your table with the x and the y. Here you must choose your x's. It's up to you. You can take any value that you want. You will always have to calculate the corresponding y transformed by the function. So here, numbers that I usually take because it represents nicely usually the middle of your graphs, it's the 0, 2 values below 0 and 2 values above 0. So if you take 0, you take -1 and -2 to the left and 1 and 2 to the right. You have to think before you choose your x's, but if you don't know, you choose those 5. That's the basics. If you see that you don't have all the information, you can always add more numbers to get a better graph. Alright, so here, if I take x is -2, that means that in my equation, in my formula, I'm going to use x equals to -2. So in this, that would give me 2 times -2 plus 3. This is -4 plus 3. This is -1. So the first value for x is -2, y is -1. Okay, if I take x is -1 now, change the value in the x, and I'm going to check what is the value of x is -1 into this function. So that will be 2 times -1 minus 2 plus 3, that's 1. 0. 2 times 0, 0 plus 3, 3. Obviously, because that is my y-intercept. So when x is 0, the value is directly that c. 1. 2 times 1, 2 plus 3, 5. And x is 2. 2 times 2, 4 plus 3, 7. Here, I've got my table. Now I'm going to plot my points. For a straight line, I only need 2 points. I don't really need to do the 5 numbers table. But for all the other graphs coming after this, you're going to need 5 points. So better learn it with 5. If you see and you know for a reason that you don't need 5, you do less. But if you're not sure, you do 5. Better more than less. Alright, so now you've got your coordinates. So you're going to have to draw your graph. I'm just going to keep them here. Okay, like I said, I'm going to keep only 2 for this one, or maybe 3, to make sure I don't make mistake. Alright, so for that, you need to draw your set of axes, x and y, 0 in the center, 1, 2, 3. How much do I need on the x? I just need 1, minus 1, minus 2 on the negative side. For the y, I need minus 1 up to 5. So minus 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, minus 2, minus 1, minus 2 in x, minus 1 in y, here. 0, 3, 0 in x, 3 in y, that's my y-intercept, here. And the last one, 1, 5, 1 here, 5 there, there. Now, my shape is obvious, because it's a straight line, but my 3 points are perfectly aligned. So I just need to find the straight line that goes directly through the 3 points. This is the equation y equals 2x plus 3. Right. Inclining graph, or inclining line, because it's a positive gradient, so it's going up. Alright. So that's the easy things. You know already how to do that. And to make sure that is so easy, example 2. This one, on the page 3 at the top, you have y equals 2x squared plus 3. And you must do the same thing. Exactly what I just did, but with a different function. Now it's a square on the x times 2 plus 3. What would be the pattern of this graph? So please draw it, follow exactly that same method, do the table, everything, plot the points and draw the shape. And then answer the question, what type of graph is it and why? Why is it so? Why is it not a straight line, for instance? Or is it a straight line, maybe? So look at it, find the right shape, and try to explain why is it that shape for this function. Alright? I think that's going to be all for a start. It's very easy just to start. If you need more, if you want more exercises, if you need copy of books, you can take your book. Please, you can do more. I'm just giving the minimum just to start, keep thinking, sit, and keep a rhythm. So, hope you get everything I said and you understand everything. Please don't hesitate, ask me, or on that group, or directly to me on WhatsApp. No problem, I'll answer, and well, enjoy. Bye bye.